Hi, 4th grade, it's Mrs. Boswell, and today we're going to be doing Module 5, Lesson 16. And today we're going to start learning about adding and subtracting fractions using models. So we'll use like number lines and area models. So if you need to pause the video at any time, you may do that. I'm going to go ahead and get us started. Alright, here we go. I'm going to bring it down just a little so we can focus in a little bit more. Alright, so we're on Module 5, Lesson 16. Add and subtract fractions using models. This is our page 1. It says, I can use visual models to add and subtract fractions. So we've been learning all about multiplying and dividing to find those equivalent fractions. Now we're going to be doing more about adding and subtracting. Okay? And this says right here, it says we can easily add or subtract when the unit's denominator is the same. Okay? So again, like we've been focusing on that denominator, that's the first thing you want to look at when you look at a fraction is the denominator. So I have some fun examples over here for you to see. Okay? It says 5 ones minus 4 ones. I'm going to imagine that these words here, ones, is my denominator. Are those the same? If you said yes, you're correct. They are the same. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust it just a little bit so it's a little clearer for you. Okay? The ones is the same, so I can go ahead and do this. What is 5 minus 4? Well, if I have 5 and I take away 4, I just have 1 left. It would be 1. Okay, but what would be my denominator? It would be ones, because they're exactly the same. Okay, let's do this one. 5 dogs minus 4 dogs. Oh, my denominator is the same. It's still the word dogs. So 5 minus 4 is 1. What were they? Dogs. Whereas might you say my denominator. Okay, we're just imagining that that word behind is our denominator. Okay, I have 5 meters minus 4 meters. Well, there's the word meters for my denominator. Oh, there's the word meters again for my denominator. So all I have to do is just go ahead and subtract. 5 minus 4 is 1. What's my denominator? Meters. Okay, let's do this one. 5 sixths. Oh, there's my denominator. 4 sixths. Oh, there's my denominator. And that really is our denominators because this would look like this. 5 sixths minus 4 sixths equals blank. Well, are my denominators the same? Absolutely. So all I have to do is minus. 5 minus 4 is 1. Okay, and then I keep the denominator the same. So 5 sixths minus 4 sixths is the same as 1 sixth. Okay, so remember, this is going to be really important. It says we can easily add or subtract when the unit's denominator is the same. So here we go. It says, ooh, I see a model already. What model is this, 4th grade? It's an area model, or it's a number line. So we're going to be using a number line for this model. It says, let's partition this number line into sixths. Well, I know that this is 0 sixths, and this one, my whole, is 6 sixths. So what would be half of 6? 3 sixths, right? And then I would just have to fill in the rest. So I've got 0, 1, 2, 1 sixth, 2 sixths, then 3, 4, oops, I already had 5 in my brain, and then 5 sixths. So I have partitioned my number line into sixths, which is pretty easy, right? So now let's see if I can do this problem. I see that I have a subtraction sign here, so I'm going to be minusing. The thing I want to look at first is look at that denominator. And if I notice, my denominator is sixths and 6. So that's exactly the same. So it's going to be easy to minus this. So I can do 5 sixths minus 4 sixths. Well, I know that I'm going to start on 5 sixths, and I'm going to end on 4 sixths. So how many would that be? So I'm going to subtract that, right? I could end on 4 sixths, or I could just subtract 4. So I'm going to use my arrows, kind of go backwards. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, when I subtracted 4 6, I ended up with 1/6. So over here I'm going to write 1/6, right? Or if I just move from 5/6 to 1/6, how many hops is that? It's just 1. Okay, you can try that different ways. Okay. Now this was easy because my numerator was smaller than my denominator, if you notice that on both of those. Okay. Let's see if it changes up here. Okay. All right, let me adjust this for you. It says, let's solve 7/4 minus 5/4. Ooh, I see my denominator is in fourths. Okay, and I'm going to partition my line into fourths, but oh man, did you notice on this number line how it was different from this number line? I noticed this number line went from 0 to 1, but I noticed on this number line it goes from 0, 1 to 2. I did you notice up in my numbers, were any of those numerators bigger than the denominators? If you said that's 7, you're right. That's 7, that numerator of 7 is bigger than my fourths. Okay, so I am going to be taking 7/4 minus 5/4. Well, can I do that? Yeah, because my denominator is exactly the same. But how would I show that on this number line? What would I divide this number line into? If you said fourths, you're right, because what is my denominator? It's in fourths. So each of these lines are going to be in fourths. So I'm going to have 0/4, and then 1/4 is 4/4, right? And I'm going to divide this into 4. I know this would be 2/4, 1/4, 3/4, right? And then after that, this is going to continue, right? So this would be in fourths, right? Let's see. Kind of put it here, line here, and here. So I got 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, and this one would be 8/4, because 8 divided by 4 would make what, everybody? It's 2, right? So I'm still dividing it into fourths. I just know that my numerator, as I move past 4/4, it becomes bigger. Okay? So here we go. It says, can you do 7/4 minus 5/4? Well, let's start on that 7. Here's my 7, and I'm going to subtract 5. So I'm going to go 1, 2. Actually, wait a second. Why do I keep going towards the smaller numbers when I subtract? Why aren't I going up towards the 8/4? Right, when you subtract, your numbers get smaller. Okay, that's why I'm going backwards on my number line. So I'm going to go, let's start that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It says I'm going to end up on 2/4. Well, fourth grade, what is 7 minus 5? Oh, I know that 7 minus 5 is 2. Oh, and my denominator is 4. Oh, did I end up with the same answer as my number line? I sure did. 7/4 minus 5/4 is 2/4. So I can even subtract fractions that have a numerator greater than the denominator, as long as, remember, our denominator is the same. All right, this one says, decompose to record a difference greater than 1 as a mixed number. Ooh, I'm going to have to write that mixed number. We learned about writing those mixed numbers. And mixed numbers is when that numerator is greater than the denominator. What will it be? Okay, it says, remember, rewrite the fraction with a new name, just like Miss Houston used in her video, and we've used in a few other ones. So we're going to do 10/6 minus 2/6. Well, my denominator is the same. Okay, so all I have to do is keep that denominator as the same. And then up here, I just have to solve this up top. 10 minus 2 is 8, right? So now, I have to write that as a mixed fraction. Remember how we use that number bond? We could totally do that here with this, okay? So, we're going to do what's my whole, and then what is my part, right? So, let's look at it. My numerator is 6, so what would be my whole? My whole would be 6/6, right? And 6/6 plus what is going to give me to 8? 6/6 plus 2 more is 2/6, right? 6 plus 2 is 8. So 6/6 plus 2/8, and I know that 6/6 is also the same as 1 whole, right? So my mixed fraction becomes 1 and 2/6, because that was what I had left over. So, did I decompose to record a difference greater than 1? Yep. Did I write it as a mixed number? Yep. Pretty easy. I think this is going to be pretty easy, fourth grade. All right, we're going to flip over to our next page. Okay, So remember again, we're using visual models to add, which is, I'm going to plus and subtract our fractions. Okay? Remember, as long as that denominator is the same, you can subtract and add. Ooh, now I notice that we have moved on to addition. So I've got that plus sign. So it says, solve for the sum. Ooh, I know sum is the same as plus. Using unit language, okay, and the number line. Okay, so we're going to use a number line, and we're going to use that unit language, which is our denominator, right, or our numerator. So here we go. It says, what is 1/6 plus 4/6? Ooh, I notice that my denominator is the same. It's 6, right? So I see that they've rewritten it down here. 1/6 plus 4/6 equals blank, right? So we're going to use our number line because we do have to do that. What am I going to partition my number line into? Well, remember, look at that denominator. What's my denominator? It's in sixths, right? So we're going to have 0/6 all the way up to 6/6. Half of 6/6 is 3/6. Good thing we learned all about that. And I'm going to fill in my rest. I'm going to have 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, and 5/6, and 6/6. Okay? Now it says 1/6 plus 4/6. So I know that I'm going to start on the 1/6, and I have to add 4/6. So I'm going to add 4. Now, which way would I go in my number line? Am I going to go towards the smaller numbers, or am I going to go towards the bigger numbers when I add? I'm going to go towards those bigger numbers. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Where did I end up at? 5, 6. Well, let's see. My denominator is 6, so that will stay the same. 1 plus 4 is 5. Oh, did we end up with the same answer? We sure did. So this is pretty easy, 4th grade. Let's do our next one. Here we go. I have 2/8 plus 3/8. Ooh, I see that my denominator is the same. It's 8s. So I'm going to end up with 8s, right? So since the denominator is the same, I can go ahead and add it. 2 plus 3 is 5. So I think over here on my number line, when I use it, I'm going to end up with 5/8, right? But what do I partition my number line into? If you said 8s, you're correct. So I'm going to have 0/8, 8/8. Half of 8/8 is 4/8, right? So I have to kind of get 3 dashes in here to get to 4. So I've got 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8. They're a little closer together. You see how the 6 is a little more spread apart, but those 8s are closer together? Okay, because I remember my things get a little bit smaller. 6/8 and then 7/8. All right, so it says I'm going to start on 2/8, and I'm going to add 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, did I end up on 5/8, 4th grade? I sure did. Adding and subtracting fractions is pretty easy when the denominator is the same. Oh, here it goes. It says solve, decompose to record a sum, right? That's a plus, greater than 1 as a mixed number. So I know that these are going to end up being bigger than 1 whole, right? They're going to maybe go up to 2. Okay, so my number line is a little different. It goes from 0 to 2 this time. Okay, so I'm going to look at my problem. It says 5/4 plus 2/4. I'm going to look at the denominator. My denominator is 4. So what am I going to partition this first one into? I'm going to partition it into fourths. So I have 0/4, 4/4, right? And then what number divided by 4 gives you 2? Oh, 8/4, right? Because I'm going to do these in fourths. So I'm going to go fourth. So I got 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. Then it comes 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, 8/4, right? Now I can show 5/4 plus 2/4. So I have 5/4. So I'm going to start here. And then I'm going to add 2. So I'm going to go 1, 2. Oh, I ended up on 7/4. So let's see. My denominator is 4. It stays the same. 5 plus 2 is 7. Oh, I did get the same. But it says I need to write it as a mixed number. Okay? So remember, that's that new number, right? Like Miss Houston says, another way to think about it, I got to write it that new number. Okay? So I'm going to do my part whole, right? My number bond. Sorry, I was trying to think of it. So here's my whole. Here's my part. I know my fraction is in fourths, so my whole would be 4 fourths. 4 fourths plus what gives me 7? So 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 3 fourths, right? I know that this 4 fourths is 1 whole. So I know that 7 fourths equals 1 3 fourths. And there's my mixed number. Pretty easy, 4th grade? It should be. So today we're going to be asking you to do number lines and partitioning them, and then adding and writing those mixed numbers if it can, because remember, the only reason I can write a mixed number is because that numerator is bigger than my denominator. Over here, could I put 5/8 as a mixed number? No, because 5 is smaller than my denominator. That 5 is my numerator, smaller than my denominator. All right, so here I've got 6 plus 4 6. Ooh, I see that plus sign. I see my denominators are both 6, so that's going to stay the same, 6, right? Then it says 6 plus 4. Ooh, that's 10, right? Ooh, I notice that my numerator is bigger than my denominator, so I'm going to break that down into my number bond. I've got my whole. I got my part. I know that my whole will be 6 6. Oh, look at that, 4th grade. Ha ha ha. I know 6 6 is 1. Oh, and I know that I added 4, right? 4 is 6, because 6 and 4 is 10, right? So my mixed number would be 1 4 6, right? Because look at this. This 6 6 is 1, right? 1 plus 4 6 would just be 1 4 6. All right, 4th grade, you focused on using visual models, such as our number line, to add and subtract fractions. Good luck today.